Hello, this is Daniel McKeown once again coming at you with your next Village Idiot, the lo-fi, low-effort podcast campaigning for absolutely nothing. Against all odds, we're back outside. It's still kind of nice, question mark. So we're just kind of taking it easy and breezy. I'm here with Murphy. He's just out of shot, but we are on great terms. He's currently hunting some flies, and I think he's plotting his next escape attempt. He's very much the Steve McQueen of the flat at the moment. But it's been good. Today is Tuesday, and it feels very much like a Tuesday. So that's always good. I just got back from work. I really should have shown you my bike helmet. I feel like it's the silliest looking helmet in the world. It basically fits on top of my head like a Lego hat, because it is made for children. But I got it for free, and despite what some may say, I actually do have quite a small head, but not quite as small as I thought because it doesn't fit too snugly. The good news with that is that you don't need to tighten it at all. You just wedge it on and hope that you only hit the crown, really. Anywhere else, and you potentially, it's over and done for you. Actually, just to give you a flavor of what I mean. But as I say, we're back outside. It was a nice enough cycle. I'm not really sure what's going on, because tomorrow the video game that I've been working on is coming out and is finally consumable on early access for Steam. It's called No Stone Unturned. I wrote on it a bit. I have a small voice part in it and have been doing their content and stuff. It's the detective game that asks, why did the chicken cross the road? So it's all very exciting. It's launching tomorrow and we're streaming it on Steam, so that'll be an interesting challenge for yours truly. I'm kind of a respectable member of society, so I've never streamed before. In my brain, everyone is like Ice Poseidon and stuff, just getting swatted constantly and harassing women on the street. That's what I thought streamers did. Either that, I feel like streamers definitely represent either the most wholesome side of content creation or some of the most depraved content creation. It's either like, you're tricking women into a van in Miami, or you haven't left your attic in 40 years and are really developing the perfect banana bread. That's all I know of streamers is that. It's no in between as far as I can tell. Only a handful of thoughts today, because we've only had a handful of thoughts in the old noggin, because as I say, it's below an average size. I thought I wanted to share this because someone told it to me, and I feel like if I don't share it, it will feel like a dream I had. But we were talking, I don't know why, but we were talking about our parents' religions. And it was at a birthday party that was just like at various pubs and parks and stuff. But this girl starts talking to me about that her parents were in a cult. So obviously I was like, oh my God, what was that like? What kind of cult? And they were like, well, it was like, Catholic adjacent, very loosely inspired Catholic, I guess. But they quickly realized that the main belief of the cult was to just build this guy's shed. He was like, she was like, the parents realized it was a cult when they realized they were making him build his shed, which I just love the concept of creating like a high-powered multi-level cult just to do kind of busy work on your own property. That really hits to me of just like, well, tier one, you gotta first get to know the basics. You're just putting up shelves, and once you get that going, you can recruit other people, because you're gonna need more recruits to help you move my sofa in. And once you get to level 5, though, we're barn building. That's a real tool that you're learning, and a crucial tenet of my cult. But I just wonder how far in you really need to think about the laziness of this cult, in that like it took high-level brainwashing and arguably blackmail and manipulation just to get some people to build a durable roof. Like, that is just such a classic scam, and we don't get many classic scams in this day and age. We usually just get, fake emails from XLR or Community Fiber. This is like an old fashioned. This is like This is 70s level. I wonder if maybe they were born in the 70s, and that's what it was. But also, it was really basically. So she told me that, and then they were like, yeah. They started to get wise to it when he started asking them to do their extension and stuff like that. It's like, okay, listen, I've entertained all this culty nonsense that you're the Messiah and you need to have us branded and stuff, but I draw the line at crazy paving. I really do. I don't appreciate that at all. I don't think you even are a real disciple of Xanathor if you aren't helping, water my plants and stuff. So it got me thinking about what other low-level cults I could get going where I guess the most abuse or the most abuse of power is just jobs I don't want to do. And I think if I could get a troop of people to help me empty the food waste bin, or not even empty it, if you could just move it over from the inside waste bin to the outside waste bin without spilling it, that would be amazing. And I'll make sure you're beamed up on our program to get off of this earth when the timing's right. I've just got to get the maths right on that. That would be an amazing job to help figure out. Or maybe like if you could create a papacy to help clean the oven. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking like what different systems of belief, what different structures I can incorporate for the most low rent, difficult job. You know what I mean? That would be, so like if you had like a bishop of wainscoting, or like, your belief system. The 5 pillars of my belief system are helping chop up parsley. It's my least favorite job in the world. And also just covering all the admin of garlic. That would be amazing, because I've realized this recently. Garlic is really the diva of the vegetables. I mean, like, she knows what she's bringing. She knows I only need to be in there for like a minute less because I'm such a professional. And you will fulfill my rider of all the peeling apart of stuff, the cracking it, the hard work you got to do to get me in there. Because who else is doing it like me? Who else is leveling up? This kind of a meal. Oh, just elegant. It's like watching Shania Twain at work, or like watching Tina Turner in the booth. You know, when you crush garlic and then you crush it again into the paste, it's so seamless. It's like an outfit transition. It's like backstage at Coachella, and then like once it's in the mix, it's just I love garlic butter so much. Garlic and butter is incredible. Garlic and butter is one of the most incredible duos there is. But you gotta work. You can't. No, she won't get out of bed for anybody. She's not. She'll be disappointed if she has to end up on Dax Shepard's podcast. Do you know what I mean? Like, she deserves the best treatment, and that's kind of written into the contract when you get it. Like, she always has to come with an entourage in that netted thing. There's always 3 of us. It's like, I need backstage passes for my girls. Can you get them in? Absolutely fine. And just make sure that you have to chop off just the ends of it. I love to do that, because also you can tell when it feels awry, with garlic. Like, have you ever crushed garlic with the skin on? It doesn't do it for me. It's like it's not good. I don't even like using garlic crushers, actually. I know they're fine, but I remember I just taking on that belief, I think, that Anthony Bourdain had, where he was like, don't ever use a garlic crusher, and I was just like, yes sir, Anthony, absolutely. I feel like whenever I've put garlic in a garlic crusher, it feels like Charlie XCX being like, of course I don't want to play boom clap in a fucking college, like that. That's how it feels. It feels like, getting put back onto talking to the agents instead of direct to the talent. That's really, and just a symphony. I love it so much. This observation brought to you by an icebreaker game that I was playing, asking people what the best vegetable was. It started with my family, because whenever I'm with my family, it's kind of countdown to, so in almost a Seinfeld way, talking too intensely about food. My question is, though, why is it so churlish to say that potato is the best vegetable? Why do the people never want to hear that? There's always some cynic, so you say vegetable, there's like, oh, here he goes, his child brain coming along. But like, what other vegetable has switched sides so effectively? You don't even think of potato as a vegetable. That's how crucial, and the range that vegetable has. It's like Robert Pattinson still bringing the same amount of freaky good taste in all varieties and all packets and sizes. Like when I was a kid, I'm not proud of this, but when I was a kid, when I ate roast dinners or anything like that, I would eat the meat with the vegetable because it was the nice part mixed with the bad part. It's called balance, and a lot of you don't have it anymore. But when I did do that, potato would count as the good part because it's that tasty. Like, you can't, stuffed aubergine, nothing compared to the baked sweet potato. Like, we're talking mash. Which other carrots? You can try mashing carrots, sure, but you would give it up to get one potato in there. Like, I really don't. Maybe the nutritional value, if you want to be a scientist about it, but vegetables have a much more spiritual sensation than we ever give it credit for, and the spiritual joy of opening a roast potato and seeing that fluffy goodness spring out like spring out like the sun springing through the window when you throw the curtains open. Aubergine can't do that. The best aubergine can get is like those little grill marks when you cook it in the pan, or like, if you have to season it the right way. I love an aubergine, don't get me wrong, definitely top 20, but potato, it's not even a competition. I mean, we're talking top 5 for sure. I don't want to set too crazy hammered out numbers. I just, when we were having this icebreaker, I thought we were having a sophisticated salon discussion, and it turns out we're really surrounded by close-minded censorists, honestly. So is potato the best? I think potato maybe has the best branding, and the best, it's like the most earned versatility. It's like Meryl Streep. The most earned versatility. Like, you're maybe not thrilled that she's in this movie, it won't make or break the movie, but you trust where she's been and you trust what she's done. Broccoli, I think, is the unsung hero. Really doesn't get the respect it deserves, because it's really, I don't know what Honky told us that we had to boil broccoli and why I thought that was the only way you could prepare them for years, but like pan-fried broccoli with just the tiniest bit of salt and pepper, that is a and just as good as anything else you'd put in a pasta. Like, I actually think broccoli, tender stem broccoli, sort of if regular broccoli is like I guess like classic jazz, bopping jazz, that kind of classic Miles Davis thing, then like tender stem broccoli is like Sam Gendel, or like, just a very cutting edge, very smooth, beautifully executed wonder. I think that would be a pretty admirable comparison. But I'll tell you, if we're getting the humble avocado involved in this discussion, I know it's a fruit, but, at this point, everything is everything. So it's sort of just going on feel. Good discussion to have, a great icebreaker. Another weirdly good icebreaker, genuinely, is the Titanic. I was talking to some people at another birthday party because I live a very socially fulfilling life, and they were talking about their hyperfixation was the Titanic, but they getting into it, like there was so many aspects, there was so many stories out of it. It really brought us together just in appreciation of the Titanic. And like, I guess the original inventors would call it an icebreaker, but we know that's not true. But it completely flipped the lid on what I thought would happen. You think someone brings up their special interest and everyone's like, okay, bud, cool, that's nice for you. Yu-Gi-Oh is very cool, or whatever it is. But no, this was there was real interest. I think it really sparks the imagination, I guess. Like, I mean, I suppose tragedies do that. They kind of hypnotize people, especially tragedies on boats or mysteries on boats. And I don't know if there's a kind of hornifying effect just because of how horny that movie is. Probably not. That's maybe a reach. But it was just the great leveler of people. Everyone was coming together and stuff like that. The one fact I stuck with me was that they shot at the men when they tried to get on the boats ahead of time. They I don't know if they shot and killed them, I can't remember, but they definitely shot at them, which is pretty feminist if you think about it. I mean, ahead of the game. But yeah, Titanic or Best Vegetables, try it out. Best Vegetables on the Titanic. Now we're cooking. Because it's the past, like preparations of veg wasn't as good. Yeah, I think that will do me. Even if this is a shorter episode, I'd rather bring it with the off the dome unprepared malarkey rather than find it in the room. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of the jazz artists like Tender Stem Broccoli or Regular Broccoli, But as is the way, on your next Village Idiot, I have to sum up what I've spoken about in some kind of policy that I'm announcing my favor for. I guess at the end of the day, the greatest divas among us are vegetables, and we should let those vegetables get on the boats first. And you're kind of a chauvinist if you don't pull out your gun and shoot at the men trying to get on the boat before the vegetables do. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Daniel McKeown.